Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am Patient Zero this episode. Andrew, with me, our wayward son, Keith.
Hello.
And the one who wants to eat the manager, Liz.
Hey guys.
And this week we played just a simple game because we've had a busy week, so we wanted to do something easy. And this week we played Carrion. Carrion.
I think it's Carrion.
It is. It's Carrion. This is by Phobia Game Studio. And to read the description of Carrion, Carrion is described as a reverse horror game in which you assume the role of an amorphous creature of unknown origins. But what Carrion is, it's essentially a 2D puzzle action Metroidvania style type-esque game where, as I said, you are playing an amorphous blob that is just going around and killing and eating everyone. So
Gross.
I will start off on this. For me, I'm going to give it a pass. I was not a huge fan of Carrion. I thought it was just okay. Like, the best way I felt playing this game is like imagine you're watching just a sports game of two of the worst teams playing. You know, you're watching it and you're just like, I have nothing invested in this, but at least something's on. So you just kind of watch it. That's kind of how I felt with Carrion. It just did nothing for me.
Huh. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. And I'm going to start with a rarity on this one. I'm going to leave my opinion open to be changed by you, Andrew.
Okay.
Oh.
Because this isn't in a game category for me. It's not wow, this is definitely a game. But I liked it in the aspect of it was short. It was what it's the typical palate cleanser. It wasn't overly difficult.
I wouldn't even call it a palate cleanser.
See, we'll let you argue your points later. I'm doing my part now. So all in all, I liked that it was simplistic. There was a couple parts I was like, ooh, this is kind of tough. Like maybe one or two things I looked up, mostly because I just didn't feel like trying on it. And I don't know, it was like 6-7 hours and I got 1,000 gamer score. Sorry, spoiler alert. But like, I thought it was fun enough that it's worth checking out, but I'm not going to recommend it to everyone I know either.
For me, I was on the fence. I think it's really interesting, and it's not every game that you get to be the bad guy. I wasn't sure how I felt about that. But something Andrew touched on, I thought it was going to be a quick game. I mean, I was excited because we went to visit family for a couple days. I know we say this all the time, but we're moving again. In 3.5 years, we moved, I think, 10 times, and we are bad at it. And I was like, I'm going to need this extra time. I put double the time that you're supposed to into this game, and I still haven't beat it. Put 11, 12 hours, and if it was a different week, I mean, I definitely could have done it, but all the things that I have against this game, it was me. I knew what I had to do, but my mind and my fingers just wouldn't. I don't know what it was. It's like, I don't know. My brain just could not get this game, and it was really weird. If I was watching myself, I'd be like, wow, she's the biggest idiot. And I think by the end of the episode, you guys will agree.
So where did you land?
In the middle. And I guess I'll give it a game because I did think it was kind of an interesting twist. But it was a roller coaster for me because I would get stuck being killed over and over and over again because I kept hitting the wrong button even though I knew which button to hit. It was so weird. So I don't know. A game? Question mark?
I'm the only one who actually gave a definitive answer this segment.
No, I'm pretty confident in keeping my game because I think I like it for the reasons that I like it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm open to be swayed on this one. That's all.
All right. So starting off with the story, this to me was also just its biggest disappointment. So Carrion does have a story-esque. You're playing an amorphous creature that doesn't speak at all, but you have these moments of going through a flashback where you play as a human and you're kind of understanding where you come from. It's just the story was so vague, and I felt like it was such a huge miss with this game.
I'm confused because I did all the human stories and I didn't get all that information.
Yeah, and there's no you're not picking up audio logs, you're not picking up anything to read, so you're just kind of trying to piece together what's going on, but I don't think there really is anything.
Yeah, like, where did you come from? Do we find that out?
I don't know. My theory is that this
they
isn't
made
Earth.
Oh.
No, I'm assuming this isn't Earth. Because it seemed like in the human segments you were seeing skeletons and some didn't quite look human.
I also feel like to get like a nuclear component, you would have to do more than flip a switch. I feel like you would need to enter like an elaborate code or, have me have a fingerprint.
Yeah, security was not good at this facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were entering some sort of like ancient temple. That's what I thought it was. But I guess I didn't think about the whole nuclear device. I mean, and I agree. There's not a lot of storytelling there. I guess I kind of, in the story that I had put together in my head is that you were like a group of scientists, military, going into like these ruins to investigate, and you kind of stumbled across this almost like demon mutant virus, and you end up being infected by it and becoming Carrion.
See, it definitely wasn't a temple because there's electricity. There was a lever you have to use, an electric door opens, and your characters clearly seem to know where this place is. The way you set up C4, the way you're kind of progressing, it seems like the humans knew the location of this monster. That's why I don't know. I was just kind of maybe under the impression that maybe this actually isn't Earth and it's a different planet. But either way, this was just my biggest, like not my biggest, but this just kind of made me sad because, like I said, the whole shtick of Carrion and why this is supposed to be a cool game. It's supposed to be a reverse horror game. You are the monster. And I don't think they played with it. Like, besides the actual gameplay of it, the story could have been cool. Like, I don't know. See, going through and killing scientists, but I don't know.
I largely agree. In the aspect of at least the whole reverse horror, I immediately went, this isn't scary in any way. They scream and they cry when you're like coming at them, but it's not very horrific. Like, you're not like, ooh, cool, this is what it's like to be on the other side. And really, there's enough games out there, but at this point that you play some sort of the bad guy, I feel like, or you find out you were the bad guy all along. Like, so many of those tropes are out there that I was like, the reverse horror didn't seem all that intuitive or novel to me, I guess is the better word there, the word I actually want. So I agree in terms of that. And then there's really no story. So like I said, I pieced together my own, but I don't care about story.
I kind of wish that there...
Yeah.
I kind of wish that you were able to make decisions that maybe would screw you up or like maybe would help you win.
I feel like that's something you really wish in a lot of games.
Like there was like a back and forth. Yes, it is. Well, no, I feel like games like this where the story is lacking and you kind of have these two conflicting like good and evil. And so if you're going to go back and forth, make it interesting. Don't just show me like a sequence of what happened. Be like, well, what if you do this? Or what if you do that? And then it might give the evil guy the upper chance,
Actually, I contest your not on Earth theory, Andrew. Only because you specifically said it while I was talking to you while we were playing this game. There's a certain point it shows a city skyline, and you go, ooh, that's the Space Needle. So
it kind of looked like Seattle.
It may not be Seattle, but it was an Earth-like city. That's all I'm saying.
Well, granted, you could build a city like that on another planet.
Yeah,
what's stopping you?
Earth-like. I don't know. I've never even been there. That's probably issue one is that we haven't been able to be on another planet to build in the first place.
I mean, how many mechs do you see walking around on Earth? Huh?
I saw 6 today, actually. One walked down my street. There was a mech parade, actually.
But I also, something that you brought up earlier with, I think you brought it up. So when you can hit left trigger and it, makes you like growl or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's an echolocation.
And so I mostly used it for getting people where I wanted them to go instead of waiting for them to walk in the direction. Because some people you have to hit from a certain direction. But it was also, you could scare people, but I don't think it actually did anything when you scared them. Was it just...
No, the growling was for echolocation. It was supposed to show you where to go to find the nest to deposit your biomass.
Yeah.
Did you not realize that?
No,
It gave you a tutorial tip
on it. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't. I'm just saying that I didn't read that, and I just did it to draw attention so I didn't have to wait for people to walk back and forth.
I never did that. I didn't even really use it. Honestly, I didn't
either. It wasn't very good.
But when I did, it was like
Sometimes it did a corner. Yeah, I was wondering why it
was. No, it wasn't the worst because it kind of had two modes. It either didn't do anything or it showed you something. And I think if it showed you, it meant it was like one room away. So there was something to be said for it, but it wasn't great. I've largely managed the game without it and did just fine.
Yeah, so I have a lot of complaints with this game. I'm just going to point that out, so I apologize if I keep saying this phrase over and over again. But another complaint I have, like, let's just kind of bring it up. I think the tutorial is awful in this game. It basically kind of gives you a little bit of rundown of what the controls are, but it does not tell you what you're doing and what your purpose is. Like, it was hard for me to figure out, like, every once in a while when I'm, like, pressing A at an S, sometimes I go into this tunnel and I'm out on another random section of the map that I have no idea where I'm at. Sometimes I create a nest. And it took me a while to figure out what was going on, but the game really just throws you in and they're just like, I don't know, have fun, figure it out.
It's the same when you grow. Like, you have like 3 levels of like small, medium, large.
Yeah.
But you can only use certain abilities when you're a certain size. And so you have to deposit mass or biomes or whatever. And then you're gaining new abilities. I forgot some of them when I was playing. Like the sharp stuff that comes from you. And for me, I think I just kept getting confused because it's like, wait, which one is pull and which one is push? Because it's like medium.
Yeah, what size do I need to be to use it?
Yeah, and then what's the worst part of this game is that when you go to I guess you'll call it like a hub world. Like, I don't know where to go after. Sometimes you have to backtrack, and I'm just like, how do I know where I'm supposed to backtrack? Because like sometimes it's obvious. You gain a new ability, and it's like, oh, I can go to this area now before I couldn't because I can now like turn into worms in the water and explore places I couldn't before. But other times, no, you have no idea. There's 3 different directions you can go from your hub world, and it's like, okay, so should I just guess? Like.
So Liz, normally at this part I would disagree with you because you're just awful at like locating things. But this time I 100% agree with you. This I think is my biggest complaint. I hate the hub world in this game. There's a total of like 6, 7 levels, but the hub world, give me a map. Yeah. Because you're getting these abilities and it expects you to backtrack to a certain area to open something for you to remember that, hey, this area was locked. Now you got to backtrack and go there.
Well, it'll say how much is complete, I think. Right? But that still doesn't tell me that I should go there first or if that's the ability that I need, if it's not obvious.
Yeah.
And then also going back to what you're saying about the tutorial, I was so embarrassed. It wasn't until like halfway through playing that I realized that you had like an energy thing in the left corner because you kept telling me, Liz, you don't have energy. And at that time, I had gained extra health, but I hadn't realized it. So I saw these like shaded circles. And I was like, oh, so that's what it is. And then I didn't even understand that I should go to the electrical panels. It took me halfway through the game to realize what energy was, like how much I had and all that. And this speaks to like the noobiest noob moves where it's like you didn't even look at your whole screen list. You didn't notice that thing in the corner. So it's like I feel like from now on when I play games, I just need to process everything before I just go and blazing, you know? Which is also sad, too, because I didn't go and blazing. And just like, you're being too careful.
You're the most cautious monster.
Yeah, and it was actually to my detriment. Like, you just need to go and take a body and just start whipping it around, hitting everybody. And I didn't do that at first. It took me a long time. So,
so slow.
It was like... It was really embarrassing playing because I just knew that I just like wasn't getting it. And I was trying so hard.
See, so here's the thing about Carrion, in my opinion. I need to clear my throat for this one. I've been waiting.
Ooh. Here you go. You gotta argue and tell us you were wrong.
No, not largely, because I agree with some of your points. But as a whole, my ultimate point is I think at the end of the day, Carrion to me feels like it's a very well built out Flash game.
Or mobile game.
Yeah, not even mobile. I honestly think
I think this on a phone.
I think of a Flash game in particular. Like, I don't know, just used to have those websites of just like hundreds and hundreds of Flash games that people have built, and this is one of them. The graphics are at the end of the day. But it's fun. It has this appeal of just like it's so simple. Yeah, you had these skills, but largely I felt like they were pretty easy to keep track of for the most part. And if you saw,
aren't you so smart?
No, not necessarily that, but mostly in particular, like I just feel like as a whole, when you saw those areas that you could deposit biomass, that was just sort of like a trigger of like, hey, I might need to shed some here to be able to do a particular thing. So I just it kind of gave you those little flags on when you wanted to look out for those. So I don't have a lot of issue with the skills and all of that. However, the hub map absolutely needs to have a mini map. Like, fortunately, I would say if you want to cut an hour and a half to 2 hours off of this game, if you do play it, go do yourself a favor and just go to Google and look up a mini map that someone's built out on this game. And it's just going to make your experience with the hub world that much easier. But it's also a small enough map overall that I kind of just stumbled my way through most of it. I looked up 1 or 2 locations on the map, and that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, I stumbled my way through too, but I mean, that's not a good mechanic. I shouldn't be stumbling my way through.
I didn't call it a good mechanic. I just said it wasn't all that detrimental. And at the end of the day, I think I put 7.5 hours into the game that, yeah, could have been cut down to probably about an hour if I just had a good mini map, maybe an hour and a half. But I think as a whole, the gameplay was just, it was fun because I go back to just the simplicity of it. And Liz told you, or you told Liz, just go in and throw bodies around. And that's why I thought it was just so fun. It was mindless, and I could just fire it up and go flying through rooms. And aside from the guys with shields, who I did despise, largely you could just mash through everything, and it was fun.
So I do, for the most part, agree. When it comes to fighting enemies and like just really kind of ravaging the humans, this game is a lot of fun. But my biggest complaint is the lack of a map and knowing where to go. Because like you would have these moments of fun where I'm like, sweet, this is great. Like whipping people around, fighting, mechs, drones, whatnot. The puzzles were pretty good. Like they would make me think a little bit, nothing too difficult. But it was just frustrating trying to navigate myself and trying to figure out what's going on in this game. So the good moments, would be good, but then it would just be bogged down by just mindless wandering.
I think too that there's a lot of abilities you get, but it kind of feels repetitive after a while. Again, I put in way more hours,
You put a lot of hours.
So it's for me, like, it's understandable why it seemed repetitive. But for me, the whole like trying to navigate thing, it just felt so tedious after a while because, I mean, graphically, gameplay wise, I felt like it was a lot of the same. Get new abilities, but you're doing like very, very similar puzzles. And so for me, that's why it just kind of bothered me with like the whole back and forth. And then also, so I didn't realize that like when you get a new ability, I thought I saved. And so I did like this huge long sequence and I died and I lost all of it. And it wasn't a crazy long time, but when you're as bad as me, it's kind of a big deal. And I was just like, at that point, I was like, I think I'm done here. And Andrew's like, I'll get you back to where you were. Like, that's how much I didn't want to play the game.
Because I think it's funny when you say, 11, I think I'm done 12. Here. That's not your reaction. Your reaction is, F this game. This game sucks. Why am I wasting my time? And then I'm like, okay, I'll help you. Like,
but that was like 11 or 12 hours of this game where it was just like, it was too much.
I think you're at like 13 hours right now.
I think it's a little under 12.
Okay.
I checked before we did. But also, I had a quick question. This is like silly to go back to. But when you say Flash games and those sites that had like hundreds of games, are you talking about the one, like the Flash games that had like the helicopter one where you went up and down through the buildings?
Yeah.
Did you guys used to play that game?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that's what you meant by Flash games, but yeah. Oh my gosh, I put so many hours in that game.
Yeah, like I would just sit for hours in front of the computer playing those stupid games and just like, I don't know, play 10 minutes of this one, 20 minutes of that one, 2 hours of this one. And yeah, this was obviously all just the same game, so it wasn't just 20 minutes of it or whatever. But I just felt like it had that joy and that appeal of not really having all that much. And it was, this isn't even a knock at you, Liz. It's just like, I would not have wanted to play 12 hours of this game. I totally understand where you're coming from. I was very happy with the amount that I played with it. Like, I thought it was just enough. And that's why I think I don't have such a distaste for it, because I don't think it carried on long enough that it needed to, I don't know, be more built out, I guess.
I think once I get to a point in a game where I can only play like 15 or 20 increments and I need a break, that's when it's too long of a game for me, I think. And then also, I don't know why I thought that I had What?
Nothing. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I think you're judging me. I thought for the longest time that you hit a button to eat.
That was pretty funny.
But when you hit buttons, it does happen faster. And when I didn't, it just, because when you gain new abilities, you end up using those buttons. And so I ended up having to stop using the buttons. And also Andrew said, don't do that. But
yeah, Liz kept trying to press
so
A
long
to
to eat people. And then there's some people that you can't eat. And I'm just like, this seems kind of silly. Like, just let me eat them, and instead of it just flinging around, and then chomp, 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 and then it's only half the body, or then the guys with the little electrical things you can't eat. It's just like, why can't I eat them?
Well, there was reasons for that because you used them in part of puzzles generally. Not always, but there's.
Later on when you possess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess that is towards the end.
Have an eating button and make it really fast, and so I can choose whether to use him or to eat him.
I will say one of the skills you get is where it adds the extra tentacles. I don't feel like I noticed much of a difference with that. I did. I think you went a little faster.
No, you could grab multiple people in once.
Oh, really?
Like aiming in a general direction. It was good.
And I just didn't realize because, I would just burst through doors, just mow through everything.
Did you guys find that when you got to the 3rd level of health that you were too big?
Yes.
Like sometimes I would have trouble aiming and getting through areas, or sometimes there's a tunnel right when you go to the next screen, and I'd have trouble getting down because I was just too big. For me, it just didn't work.
Yeah, a bunch of you would be hanging into the little cavern you wanted to go down, but the controllable part of you was actually still in some little nook to the left of it, so you had to figure out how to get yourself out of that little hole to. Yeah, it was weird.
In what game do you want less health? Because that's what happened to me. The second I got that 3rd set of circles, I was just like, oh my gosh, can somebody beat me up, please? Shoot me.
This is where I'm surprised how much you're saying though, Liz, because you gave this a game, and I feel like there's nothing you are liking about it. What did you like about Carrion?
I did like I don't think there was enough to the story, but I did kind of like the idea that you're going back and forth, that you are the bad guy. And it was weird too, eating people, it gave me a reaction. I was like, this is gross, I don't want to do this, but I kept playing.
I want to do this, but I'm going to.
And I feel like whenever I get a weird reaction from a game, it's unique experience, and I'm glad that I did play this game. I just halfway through it, I was like, this sucks, but I gave it a game 2 because I feel like there's so much of, the gameplay and the issues that I had with it were my fault. The map wasn't my fault. That's you guys, the creators. But everything else, I feel like it was my fault. So I can't really poo-poo a game when I suck.
See, I said before, the thing I do enjoy the combat. And I thought the puzzles were for the most part pretty cool. Once I did figure out, depending what size you are, is what abilities you get to use, it had this kind of cool idea of I need to actually weaken myself, make myself smaller, and I have to fight this room, but I have to be a level 1 size.
But to make it kind of repetitive, in one size you have to pull and one size you have to push. You know what I mean? I feel for me, I felt the puzzles were kind of the same. For a couple levels, it would be the same, and then you'd get some new abilities and it would change a little bit, but not a lot. There was nothing that really, shined to me.
I mean, as far as those ones, I think a lot of those that you're thinking of, Liz, are kind of more the Metroidvania aspects, things you go back and you find and you do later on in the game. And I get what you're saying still, but it was, I don't know how to explain, I guess, why.
No, the actual puzzles, when you have to figure out how to flip a switch when it closes the door on you, that kind of thing. Yeah, puzzles.
Yeah, puzzles.
Oh, I guess I was thinking you were talking about those little plug things you have to break.
Oh no, I was talking about when you incorporate those and but I more meant the actual puzzles.
Oh, I don't know. I think there's 1 or 2 that gave me a good stump, but also because it was just I got really fixated on the idea of at one point you get a skill where you can absorb explosions. I was I'm going to absorb both of these, and I was convinced that I was just timing the skill wrong. And then I finally looked it up and I went, oh, that's actually a really simple solution. I just didn't look. So all in all, I thought they were, like Andrew said, just challenging enough. I thought they were all fun and intuitive enough, and I liked how it changed up how I needed to use my skills. And I thought they were pretty fun.
So when I first started playing Carrion, I played it actually when it like first came out, and I don't know if this was on me or they patched it, but I will say the one thing I did hate originally when I first started playing this game, the human segments when you go back in time. I don't know if it was me. I don't know if I just didn't see the tutorial. But before, I remember you couldn't run.
You can run now.
I didn't know how to run.
Yeah, you can run. And it
now
tells you.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure it didn't say before. And so I remember those segments were the boringest thing because your guy walked super slow. But I never cared like playing as a human, like the human segments of it. But I enjoyed that like they kind of add a way for you to control the humans as puppets. I do enjoy the abilities. I thought the abilities were, for the most part, pretty cool. Especially when you can go like invisible, you can grow like extra spikes. So some of the actual like gameplay mechanics that you're getting on later are actually pretty fun. I just wish there was more enemies. There's like a total of like 3 different enemy types. And so I wish there was more puzzle type aspects to the fights. Because the best strategy, as I said, for me was just literally going in and just grabbing everything and shucking it around because you can at least knock people down and stun them and then finish them off. But I just wish, I don't know, the enemies had a little more puzzles to them.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. But again, for a 6.5 hour game, a 7 hour game, I don't know. I get that there's not a ton more to it. And I think I do wish there were. I don't disagree with you. It's hard for me to knock it is the biggest thing.
I also like find it interesting that they didn't have more realistic components. So I feel like pretty early on, I mean, you're possessing people. And aren't these people radioing into each other being like, oh, they can possess? And as a human, I'd be like, okay, we need to come up with codes to see if like this is actually a human. Be like, let's only say fruit or something when we see each other. Or I don't know. Like for me, I just felt like they went, and there were people like scientists or I don't know who they were, but they didn't have guns. And they would like hide behind these locked doors. But when they started being eaten, the guys with a gun sometimes wouldn't come to help them. And it's like, I don't think that's realistic. Because they're going to.
Smart.
Yeah. So for me, it just, and especially like with military bases and stuff, it's like, no, they're going to run in and they're going to shoot you from behind. So I also thought it was kind of lame that it wasn't more realistic. I felt like they didn't really get smarter.
Yeah. I don't know. I like, yeah.
You want to defend this game so bad, but you're like, wait.
He thinks you're being nitpicky.
I do, and again, I think it's just, I think mostly because it's asking so much of such a basic game. Like, I think why I don't hate it is because I appreciate that they didn't try too hard to be more than they were. They just said, hey, here's a really straightforward, simple game. It's kind of a fun idea. It was like, it almost felt like they were just like learning to play with a physics engine, and they just kind of wanted to throw a game out there with it, honestly. And I don't know. I think, yes, it would have been cool to have it, but this wasn't Alien. It's a 2D pixel platformer.
Well, it sounds nitpicky, but it's like, it's so many different things that they didn't excel at. They didn't excel at the story. They didn't excel. Like, for me, it's like, it sounds nitpicky, but it's like, well, to give me something that you did great at. For me, like, I wanted to be wowed because I thought it was very interesting, but I felt like along the way, like, I didn't really get wowed that much. So I don't think I'm being too harsh. I'm just saying what I wish, like, little things that, like, oh, well, if you're not going to do story, maybe make this a little bit more complex, you know?
I mean, trust me, this is not my game of the year by any means. I'm not writing home about this. It's just,
dear mom, let me tell you about Carrion.
I really just, in the biggest reason that I just have a really hard time like wanting all of these things in the game is there was no aspect of it trying too hard, and it didn't need to. It was what it was. And I guess
so
that's why
weird
I just don't
to me. Because I feel like you hate games that have a ton of story and a ton of complexity, and you don't really like them. But then like this game comes out that is just like very simple for people like you.
Wow.
Very simple. No, I meant like as in it was hard for me. It was simple for you because it was simple for you because you guys had such an easy time with it. So I'm saying it's not a simple game for me. It's actually a hard game. But I feel like for like 99% of gamers who are not like noobiest noobs, this game is simple. And so for me, it's like I feel like I haven't had you defend a game this much in a long time, and it's such like a
so
trying to
trust
find
me,
a nice word.
I do stand behind it. I said it earlier, and I really do agree. If I had played this game for 14 hours, I would have hated it. I really would have.
I think you guys keep adding hours to make me look worse and worse. 13,
if I had played this game for 150 hours, I would be miserable. But yeah, if it wasn't as short as it was, and that's your argument, and I will agree with you, Liz. It's just funny to me. I guess it's more with Andrew because like he's so like, yeah, this is awful, but I'm like, timing of games, and if this like, I guess that's why it's crazy to me for Andrew to have a game that's this short be this angry about it.
Oh, okay, I'm not that angry about it. Because for me, it's just like I said, as I said with my analogy, like it was still a game. I still played it. Like at the end of the day, it was a video game. I didn't mind. Like I didn't hate it. It wasn't something I was so miserable playing. It just did nothing for me.
What's another like small game that we've played that I really enjoyed? Or we don't
Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, Keith loved that one. Keith loves the short, simple games.
He does.
Yeah.
But I just think of games like Alan Wake, and there's so many games that I've loved that Keith has just like taken a huge dump on, and then he's like defending this game. It just like blows my mind sometimes how different our gaming picks are. But I respect your opinions on it.
You're not wrong. I think we do. We've had games we agree on. We've definitely had plenty that we agree on.
Rain on Your Parade. You liked that, didn't you? That was a short game.
Yeah.
What's that?
Rain on Your Parade.
That was nice and fun.
Oh yeah.
So like, all right. So I'm not like Liz. I don't like adamantly hate it, even though ironically she's the one who gave it a game.
This is the weirdest game of
I know.
I feel like I'm just
hard for me to
saying
recommend
like
it to
little
anyone.
suggestions that I think would have made it more dynamic because I think it fell flat in a lot of areas.
My biggest complaint is that the game is, in one of its genres, people describe it as a horror game, and even in its title, it says it's a reverse horror game. I could not say at all, this is a horror game. Like, there's nothing scary about it. That's just what I wish they had more fun with that. That's generally my big annoyance with it.
Wait, what game did we play recently that wasn't a horror game, but it scared the crowd? Like, there was a...
Subnautica.
Yes!
We just did that last week.
That Leviathan scared the bejesus out of me. And then at this game, I didn't get scared at all.
Well,
I was
you're
grossed
supposed to be the
out.
one scaring people. And that's what I mean.
You were
wish they
humans,
were
though. They could have had scare factor when you're humans. Oh, another thing though. Liz said would be cool. Oh no!
Liz, stop.
Liz is such a hater.
Liz do be shopping. She's got a shopping list of things she wants for this game. Get on it. But I also need to tell you, Liz, I did go back and play Subnautica. Probably like another hour and a half. Not a lot. Because Andrew said, well, the parts you need are just nearby.
You made
I didn't
thing.
do it, but I did find a Leviathan.
Wait, you didn't build anything, though?
No, I still didn't. I went back and I looked for the parts. I still couldn't find any. But I did find all the parts for a laser cutter. Anywho, that's a conversation for another episode. Just wanted to say I did it.
Did you get eaten?
Oh, I did. Oh, I did get eaten. It was not a pleasant experience.
Did you
0
jump?
10 would I recommend it again?
Did you jump?
A little bit. I saw it coming.
He was prepared. When it happened to me, I was not prepared.
But yeah, I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it in the least.
So the next thing that Liz is going to complain a lot about of Carrion is the graphics.
No, I actually liked it. I don't think that it changed too much with the levels. So like you're in the...
Yeah, I thought the levels felt very samey.
Yeah, they felt very samey, but overall I did like the graphics. So when you... The save points... I don't know what to call them, but
save points.
Yeah, like you kind of take them over, and there were a lot of cool effects like that. I think for like it was pixel. Would you consider this pixelated?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know game terminology. For a pixelated game, I thought it was really cool. I don't think it wasn't too pixelated, if you guys know what I mean. Like there's some games where I'm just like, okay, I want a little bit more detail. But I think that the way that it moved was more fluid, and especially the
best
monster.
thing is your creature. Your creature, they did a fantastic job with the Carrion creature.
Yeah, it feels like your creature is like, I don't know, like 128-bit, and then like all of the enemies are like 16.
Yeah,
Like
I know. Yeah, your creature kind of felt out of place.
But then also the background. Well, yeah, very samey. We're also pretty graphically detailed. Like it didn't feel super pixelated on the actual scenes. It was just the enemies. It was a weird dynamic.
I think they also like create a mood, especially when you're playing a human. Like it kind of seems more like foggy, and you have the helicopters going that you can hear, and then when you get closer to the top, like seeing that huge expansion of light from like a hole was kind of shocking. Like not crazy, but it was like it definitely felt different. And I think the enemies too, like if you knock somebody down but you don't kill them, they'll lay and then like kind of crouch up and try to shoot you.
Yeah, that was
so cool. So I also felt like the humans, like the way that they aimed and stuff. I mean, I feel like especially when they're trying to guard themselves in the back, like they think that you're behind them. That's what a human would do. So it kind of goes against what I said earlier. Where like I do feel like that, like with I caught myself out. I'm just saying. Listen,
like he's just like, I'm done. I can't argue anymore.
I'm just saying.
I still agree with
my Sox. They're currently winning. Things are good. You know.
I still agree with what I said earlier, but I'm just saying with this one mechanic that I do think that that's also true.
Okay.
I mean,
do you know what? I can't win. Do you know what? I say something good about the game, and it's not good enough for you guys. Like, why am I here? You guys, the rest of the episode, just talk about how much you love this game. Okay, I'm listening. Tell me how great the graphics are.
Liz, I'm very sorry that my computer had issues tonight. I know it's getting late, and you're getting punchy.
No, she's getting drinky. You took too long. So
oh, jeez. But no, I actually think it's funny that you're coming after both of us when it's really just me who's defending it. And Andrew's just like, I didn't really care for it.
I actually haven't been saying too much. I said my piece at the beginning. But I kind of been sitting there.
Yeah, I just
can't wait to see what you give it a score, Keith. Is this one of those things like way back in the heyday where it's like, this game is great, 70. This game sucks, 70.
I feel like this is going to fight you.
Gosh, I'm so glad we're states away right now. This is getting out of hand.
Is that a threat?
No, he's afraid you're going to kill him. I'm afraid you're going to kill him.
This is getting very angry right now.
I'm genuinely not angry. I just think it's funny. Like I really want to know what your score is.
Well, let's just ignore all their segments. Let's get to scores here.
Yeah, let's just want to skip score. So let's breeze through. Yeah, graphics existed. I already said it. The Carrion is the best thing. And the rest it really just exists.
Yeah, you're like a gross Spider-Man is kind of the best way to describe your character.
Yeah.
I love like tentacles you just kind of send out when you're moving. That's the thing. Another thing I'll praise. I loved the movement of your creature too. Mm-hmm. The movement is super fluid and I loved it. Except like when they said when you're the largest size, then it gets a little wonky. But
yeah, and I like too that at some points I didn't know if like my little tentacle things were going to be seen. Well, I wasn't sure if they like sometimes they could see them and sometimes they couldn't. And also you had to be very careful when you're possessing people. So if they see it, they're going to shoot you, but sometimes you can get away with it. So I also like that you really kind of had to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, since we're back on gameplay, one thing I think actually I'll add on to Liz's grocery list here. I'm going to ask for this, Liz, if we can add it. Is like and I think Andrew kind of maybe already said this, is more dynamic of like actually forcing you to be stealthy in this game. Like they could trip alarms if you like came too close or something like that. Like certain parts you like had to stealth through because you could stealth, but the stealth felt irrelevant. It just felt like I'm just going to fly into this room and blast through everything like I did every other level.
Yeah, because there were traps, but they weren't like,
there were
life or death. Well, yeah. Well, if you tripped them, it would close a door, kind of thing. But
those were part of the puzzle.
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying is like they did have like those type of traps. So I think that would have been cool.
See, well, since we're on gameplay again, this is like the shortest game, but it could be the longest episode. Essentially, what I really wish Carrion was more stealth. And honestly, I kind of wish it played like Among Us, where you are the imposter. Like, I think it would have been cool if they had more gameplay with you possessing humans and doing things to betray the other humans. That I think would have made it a fun.
You mean like multiplayer? Like having your friends be humans?
Multiplayer.
But then I would have wanted 14 hours of this game. If the gameplay is that
because
long,
it would have been good.
Yeah, then I would have wanted those aspects. But it didn't need those. All of those things are cool, but it genuinely didn't need them. There's too many games that need those things, and you have to play them for 10 to 12 hours. Like, have to, even if you go through it quickly. And it's just like, why? That's a waste of my time. This was like a very, very mini Ori. But it's not Ori. Let me be clear, it is not Ori. But
it's absolutely nothing like Ori. I would never
what do you mean
this
by
game
that?
like Ori.
It's like a Metroidvania, just little platformer puzzler. But it's like a very, very mini version of it.
I don't know. That's all loose. I feel like you could describe this game like to be like Madden.
Oh, I get it. You can disagree with Keith.
Oh, Madden. It's very much like Madden, actually.
You're moving a character around, you're making plays, you're killing people, just like Madden.
All of those things. So anyways, I guess we'll talk about the music and the sound, because the screaming and all of that got really annoying.
Yeah.
That was like the most horror of the game.
Yep. Especially if there's a human you're missing, but you can hear him constantly going, ah, ah.
Yeah, it didn't really
back
care
and
for
forth.
it.
And it's just like, all right.
It didn't bother me at all. I mean, I do think that I like the music. Like, I think it was all right. I didn't love it. But I feel like they could have done, or maybe not, because I feel like it would have been a different game if they kind of had more somber music. I think that what they did was good for this game. And same with also, like I said earlier, like the helicopters and kind of just a different atmosphere when you're a human. So I think that it worked really well. But because I don't think that they were trying to do these like big dramatic moments or anything. So I think that they did a good job.
I like the chopping noise you make.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I didn't really notice the music too much, but I don't know. Maybe I just didn't play enough of the game for that.
I didn't really notice music either, honestly.
That was a shot at you, Liz.
Oh, I know.
I just wanted Andrew
you
to
can
know
make
more than
shots,
anything,
but I can't because then I'm temperamental.
Exactly.
So
you've nailed it, Liz.
The other thing too, if you were playing this game now recently, they have added a free DLC, which is the best way to describe it.
Oh yeah, did you play the winter one?
I did, and it was wildly disappointing.
What was it?
It's an extra level. That's honestly all it is.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's kind of a joke because when I first looked at it, it says greatest time of the year. And every time I kept seeing it, I kept thinking it was saying like game of the year. So I'm curious if they specifically kind of did a Christmas theme type, quote unquote, to try to make a joke that they have a game of the year award. This is just a complete speculation. I don't fully know.
Do they have a game of the year award?
When you what? No, not that I've heard of.
No.
Were
This
there
game is
any
winning no Game of
Santa
the Year award.
hats?
No. Okay, so this is my biggest complaint. It's supposed to be a Christmas themed episode. The only thing that makes it Christmas, every once in a while, you kind of see some colorful lights that are hung up on the walls. That is literally
No
it.
snow.
Kind of. You're not playing through snow. You can kind of see it in the background. But
So
like
they didn't
that's
really
it.
go funny with it.
No, they didn't. It's essentially just another level.
No,
they add a
Bruce
lot more
Willis.
enemies. There's a lot more action in it. And there's no new abilities, nothing really to it. It's literally just an extra level.
They should have had Bruce Willis fighting the monster. And the monster turns into Alan Rickman.
I was hoping by the end of the episode, you would maybe possess Santa. And then you like fly away on Santa or something like that. That's what I thought they were going to do, something funny. No, you literally just escape the base and that's the end of the level. And I was like, what?
Wah, wah.
How is this a Christmas episode? It was weird.
That actually would have been an awesome ending. I'm gonna say that there.
But you can't complain with a free DLC though. So
no,
it's
that's
there.
true. Aside from if you're gonna put in free DLC, give me some achievements to it, and that's why I didn't care for that, and that's why I just went, I'm not going to do this. However, I'm going to go back to another thing on gameplay. Actually, one thing that really did bother me, I didn't like that there was no real boss fights. There was like a couple challenge levels, like you mentioned, like you had to shed down to your smallest form and then fight like a bunch of drones, which were kind of annoying to fight when you were small. But nothing really difficult. There was no bosses. There was no true boss. And even if it was just one at the very end, I think there was a semi-difficult enemy, if I remember. Either way, I didn't like the fact that there was no bosses.
I like that there weren't any bosses because I do bad with boss fights. For me,
Here we go again.
I like
just
that.
Disagreeing with me.
A simple thing that I think they could add to make this game actually slightly interesting too. I wish they actually had a score mode, like a time run where you could try to see what you could do.
Fun.
I'm surprised they didn't. So this game's published by Devolver, and a game Devolver made, which is a game I absolutely loved, was Hotline Miami, and it's honestly relatively similar like Carrion, where it's kind of like this quick action game. It's 2D. And that game is all about score, doing combos and like building up like a kill streak. This game is built for it. Carrion could really easily have a score attack mode on it. And I think that actually would be a lot of fun. It'd be really cool to watch. Yeah, it'd be fun to watch a playthrough of it. Someone who's really good at this game, like burn through a level within a few seconds. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, because I looked at a walkthrough at one point. I forget what for. And people finish this game quick.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's really impressive.
The time to beat Carrion, it's posted to be about 4.5 to 6 hours. So, yeah, this is a very short game. I essentially played this game twice, and I'm at 6.5 hours, and I 100%ed it. But getting into achievements, highly recommend this game for achievement hunters. Very easy.
You get it for like completing every level.
Yeah, just you get an achievement. Basically, majority of the achievements are beating every level. There's 3 where you have to go back. You can revisit levels, and you have to find the secret upgrade, which improves your character's overall energy or makes you more resistant to fire. Something that just makes your character stronger. But they're very easy to find, very easy to solve.
Carry On My Wayward Son one? Like what?
That's just beating the game. There's an achievement called Carry On My Wayward Son, and it's just beating the game. But yeah, so. Totally recommend this game for achievement hunters. So getting into our final thoughts.
Who wants to start? Liz wants to go last. We know that.
Yeah,
so Andrew, you or me?
I'll go first. So I do apologize. I know I kind of been poo-pooing this game. It's not the worst. It just, like I said, it just didn't do anything for me. Like the gameplay was fine. The puzzles were fine. Like I wasn't crazy about the graphics. I loved your creature. I thought your creature was really cool. I just thought they could have just added some things to really make this game more interesting. Like the score attack mode. I really wish this game had a map, especially when it came to the hub world. That hub world is awful. But there's moments of this game, I was solidly enjoying my time. And I do agree with you, Keith. This game, 4.5, 6 hours. If I played any more of this game like this, I probably would extra hate this game as well. It's fine. It's just hard for me to really recommend to anyone because it's just fine across the board. I think I'm just going to give it a solid 70. It just didn't do much for me.
So, I mean...
This is laughing. I'm really curious what you're going to say, Liz. And you gave it a game.
Yeah. Liz thinks this is my game of the year, clearly. And I don't really have a lot to say much more than Andrew. And I know I say this a lot, but I think the game is fine. I can't argue that the game would be improved by adding these things. I think that it has the opportunity for the things Andrew was talking about, like the time attack mode. Like those things would be fun, and I would love to see them. I probably wouldn't use a lot of them because I just don't do stuff like that. But I think it's a fun aspect, and it's something that could really be played with this game. One thing I definitely think, it really could have had more elements of like actually fighting that would have made it more fun, or more aspects of horror. It wasn't scary. It was what I described it as, at least in my opinion. It's a flash game, but it's fun and it's simple. And if you're looking for something to just pick up, that's kind of, I guess, what I would recommend. Like, get some achievement score, have a little bit of fun doing it, but don't take a lot of time to do it. And that's why I can't hate on this game at all, and why I do give it a game. So 150 out of 100. But actually,
you really give it
75.
Okay.
I am going to give it a 70. I like this game, and then I didn't like this game. What?
Nothing.
This is the most confusing episode of all time.
It really is.
This is the darkest timeline.
I picked this score before we had this conversation. I know I sounded negative, but I think it's just the point that I got to in this game the last time that I played it. But it really was up and down.
Yeah,
and
you literally looked at me and go, do I still have to keep playing this? And I said, no, you're good.
I did. And then, unfortunately, we forgot to post that we were playing this game. So there's no listener reviews, but we will do that for next week. But looking at Metacritic, 76 and 7.8. And before we get to our fourth and seventh co-host, I do have...
Yes.
Yeah. I do have a couple.
Can we play a game with this? Can you just read us the review and we'll guess the score? I mean, I'm guessing zero is pretty much easy, but no, because it could be anything 0 through 2.
I didn't save it. I didn't save the translation. We could look it up real quick if you wanted to.
I mean,
nah.
So what I was
gonna
do
for another episode.
Okay. Well, what I was gonna do for this episode, anyways, is a little bit different. So he did give it a 0, but I wasn't gonna read what he said because it's a lot of what he usually says. There's nothing too different this week, but I was just gonna give it the score of how many turds he said.
Nice.
Oh, actually, I
so
like
do you guys want to guess?
So he's probably going to describe you as a big old turd swinging around. Mm-hmm. I'm saying 6 turds.
I think that you're right on how he's going to describe your character, but I think that he's not going to have enough to say about this game to get past 3 turds.
It is like a shorter review for him.
Okay.
But you guys are both wrong. It was 4 turds.
So okay, but I was closest without going over.
Yeah, you
and
are.
Closest in general. So I win.
So I
Put
do
some victory music there for me, Andrew.
No.
Oh.
I do have 2 reviews for you guys. And these
copyright.
ones are very much in the middle. I feel like there weren't too many like hateful and ecstatic ones. It was right in the middle. So I'm going to give it a 7. The game is aesthetically amazing. The music and the ambient sound are great and the combat is reasonable, but the story is uninteresting and during most of the game you don't even know why you're doing the things you do. And most of the puzzles do not make sense the way they are placed. It does not make sense for a human to have positioned the things necessary for the puzzle. And then someone who gave it a 6. A real letdown for me. Looked real interesting from the trailers, but soon as I played the overly basic controls and the generic puzzles that are in literally every indie game, I was out. I feel it would have been better with 3D visuals, where the shine and sliminess of the Carrion could have really popped, and the eviscerations would have had more impact. Pixel art, especially the style, gets bland fast. Also, more interesting combat and movement. So I want to say, I'm kind of glad that like I didn't see people being eaten as much. So I disagree a little bit. I agree with both of them, but that's one thing that I don't want.
You don't want
kind of
more gore?
like, yeah, you know what? Mortal Kombat is like too much for me now. The Mortal Kombat that's the current ones. I'm good. I don't need to see people being eaten. That would be really messed up if this was like a full,
3D watch people go down your gullet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's exactly what he's saying, but I think that this was the perfect amount of body chopping.
I'm going to put that as your review. Perfect amount of body chopping. 10 out of 10 from Liz.
Oh, on the body chopping? Definitely 10 out of 10.
Yep. All right, everyone. I think that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have a game recommendation or you just want to say hi, we'd love to hear from you. We're at GamePassGrabBag@gmail.com. We're on Facebook as well, where, as I said in our Subnautica episode, I will be posting what game we are playing in the upcoming week. So we would love to hear your review of the game that we're playing, and we will read it on the podcast. Just give us a short description and give us a rating on a 1 of 100 scale. And yeah, you may just have your review right on here on this podcast. You can also follow us on Twitter at GPGPpod. And we are still trying to look into possibly doing a Patreon, but if you feel so inclined to support us, we do have at least a donation set up. I've been your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. You can find me at Xbox Live at Firebird0952.
I like that you flexed when you said it.
I know.
It's just so quick. So I've been Keith, and I'm going to introduce a new segment here where I call it Keith Reviews. If you're actually listening here and you want me to read a review of myself, feel free. This week we have a very pleasant review from our listener, Curtis. Thank you, Curtis.
Oh my gosh.
He said, your input and commentary during the podcast are both insightful and enjoyable. So keep it up. So thank you, Curtis.
Curtis used to be cool.
And I am Liz the Noob, aka Negative Nancy, and I am on Twitter at Liz the Noob. Noob is EW.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much. We love you all, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.